Did the White House try to help Senator Arlen Specter win the Pennsylvania primary by offering his opponent a job to get him out of the race? Joe Sestak, the retired Navy admiral who went on to beat Specter for the Democratic nomination, all but confirming it in a TV interview earlier this year. Well, now Sestak says he will comply with investigators if the offer becomes the focus of a federal probe. Attorney General Eric Holder says the matter could be investigated, but he has rejected the idea of appointing a special counsel, something requested by Congressman Darrell Issa. He's ranking member of the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. He joins us live from Capitol Hill. You requested that the Attorney General appoint a special counsel or at least conduct an investigation, right? What was the response?
Well, I have, and unfortunately Eric Holder rejected that offhand, both in a letter from one of his subordinates and in a live hearing. It's very clear that this administration is not going to be forthcoming until they have to with who offered Joe Sestak what, and it's not even a did they obviously did. It's a question of interpretation. If Rahm Emanuel comes forward and says, I said this and I didn't believe it meant that, we can have a legitimate debate on that. But right now, we don't know who it was. We only know that a retired three-star admiral and a U.S. congressman, in both roles, he has said, I was offered a job, I rejected it, I continued on. For Joe Sestak, that's not problematic. He's done what he should do, which is refuse to take the bribe and do what he thought was right. However, in not telling us who it was, he's thwarting an investigation, a legitimate investigation into a crime committed by the White House.
Well, you just called it a bribe. Are you absolutely convinced that such an offer actually took place? I mean, Congressman Sestak has sort of danced around the issue when he's been asked about it on many, many subsequent occasions.
No, he hasn't. He's refused to give further testimony, but he's repeated the same testimony. He was offered a job by a high-ranking official in the White House if he got out of the race. He's been very clear and unambiguous on that. Do I think he should be more forthcoming? Yes. The Naval Ethics Code insists that you do cooperate in investigations as to corruption, that you report it. Well, he's reported it, but right now there's no investigation. And I blame the administration for not wanting to have the transparency coming out of the White House that they promised during the campaign.
The White House spokesman, Robert Gibbs, had 3 words when he was asked about it, and he, too, has been asked about it on many, many occasions, and he, too, has danced around the issue rather delicately. But one of his answers was, nothing inappropriate happened. Now, you could take that a million ways. If you come from a school that says it's okay to give political jobs to people that you want to placate, maybe that is nothing inappropriate.
Well, you know, Nixon said if the president orders it, it's legal. That didn't hold up. It's very clear it's not for the White House to decide what's inappropriate. An allegation has been made that multiple sources in both parties, Anthony Weiner, Dick Morris, and other Democrats, have made it very clear that, and even Axelrod, that they should answer that, in fact, this is serious. This is an impeachable offense, according to Dick Morris. And I think that brings back the whole Nixonian question of it's not about what was done wrong. It's about the cover-up. And right now there's a cover-up going on at the White House 10 weeks after the allegation.
So where does it go from here? I mean, if the Attorney General has already turned you down but said there could be an investigation still, who would conduct that investigation?
Well, it's very clear that every U.S. attorney has the ability to look into this. Every U.S. attorney could, in fact, begin the process of suspecting that there's a crime based on this allegation. Do I expect it to happen? No, not right now. But it's also very clear that it's a long way till November, that for Joe Sestak, he can dance around it and he may or may not be a senator. But for the White House, this problem's not going away. Admiral Sestak is, in fact, a very, very reliable source. He has repeated the allegation, and even though he's not willing to give more information unless there's a formal investigation, it's very clear the allegation is one that everyone from Arlen Specter to Dick Morris have said is, in fact, a crime and could be impeachable.
Congressman Darrell Issa, Republican of California, thanks.